the beautiful Disneyland Main Street Railroad Station, and the train is in the station. As you can see, it is gorgeous. I think the train is the hot ticket tonight. I think we're going to take a trip around the park in the train because I can never get enough of the Disneyland Railroad and their trains. I know it goes around the same loop every single time, but it is a beautiful loop around the park, and you get to see so many cool things from a different perspective. And one of the first things you get to see is, at least from this station, because we're here at the Toontown station, so one of the first things you get to see is the train going through It's a Small World's facade, the exterior. Here comes one now. You hear the train? Ah, I love the sound of the train. Here we are. We're at the Toontown station, folks. Toontown station. Okay, I'm gonna get in line now, and I'm gonna ride the train from the Toontown station all the way around to New Orleans Square because I love that area.
Away from all openings, so they remain seated at all times. Next stop will be Tomorrowland.
This on the Disneyland Railroad. For a safe ride, remember to stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Y bienvenidos a bordo. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren. Y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
As we leave Toontown Depot, we get a real nice view of the happiest land of them all, Fantasyland. You can see people stepping onto It's a Small World just below us. And, off in the distance, majestic Matterhorn Mountain.
ボートが完全に止まり、下船していただく指示が出されるまでは席を立たないでください。
これすごくね、これ。ない。
We're now steaming forward into the future to a land inspired by visions of tomorrow, both practical and imagined. Here you'll find rocket ships and star speeders, submarines and astroblasters, and if you look overhead, maybe a glimpse of a Mark 7 monorail. This is the latest version of the first daily operating monorail system in the entire Western Hemisphere, gliding above Disneyland since 1959. Below the monorail, and us, are the fun-filled roadways of the Autopia. Drivers of all ages can get behind the wheel of these cars. No experience or license required. If you're into soaring spaceships or doing battle with evil empires and emperors, Tomorrowland is definitely the place for you. Speaking of which, we're pulling into Tomorrowland Station right now. If you're leaving us here, just stay seated until we come to a full stop. Gather your belongings, including lightsabers and astroblasters, and step carefully from the train. Thanks, and have fun in the future. For the rest of you, just sit tight. We'll be on our way again in just a minute.
いや、そうなんよ。ディズニーのゴーカートは寝かすとかできない。それだけそれだけじゃないか。いや、これレールの上なんだ。ああ、いやでも。ディズニーあと5時間半入れます。 Okay, more.
Feet, legs, and hands inside the moving train at all times. Please supervise children. Make sure they're away from all openings, that they remain seated at all times. Next stop will be Main Street Station, but before we get there, we're taking a small trip into the Grand Canyon and the Primeval World. Once we enter through that tunnel, for courtesy of those around you, please turn off all lighted toys and accessories, as well as flash photography. Thank you.
To those who have just come aboard,
Once again, folks, we do ask everyone to please remain fully seated at all times while the train is in motion.
the future to the breathtaking beauty of nature's own design, the Grand Canyon. For your safety, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. Watch your children and no flash photography.
Para su
Just a
seguridad.
reminder, folks, please make sure to turn off all those light up and glowing items such as Mickey and Minnie ears. Once again, folks, please make sure to turn off all of those light up and glowing items such as Mickey and Minnie ears.
No tome fotografías con flash.
That was the Grand Canyon as we know it today. But it wasn't always this way. Now, let's travel back in time, way back in time, to the fantastic past of the primeval world, land of the dinosaurs. We're now returning to our own time and to Main Street Station, gateway to Disneyland. If you're leaving us here, stay in your seat until we come to a full stop. Remember to gather all your personal belongings and step carefully from the train. I'd especially like to thank those of you who've been with me for the Grand Circle Tour of Disneyland. We hope you enjoy.
As we're approaching Main Street Station, please remain seated until the train has come into a full and complete stop into a station. Please be advised that this station does not have any ramps or elevators, so all wheelchairs and strollers must be unplugged at the bottom of the staircase. Once again, please remain seated until the train has come into a full and complete stop, and both conductors have stepped off the platform. Thank you, and welcome to Main Street.
Everyone, please remain seated. Please remain seated.
So they are fully seated on the bench next to yours while some flap, both keeping away from the train's openings. Next stop will be New Orleans Square Station.
Friday night,
Welcome
folks.
aboard the Disneyland Railroad. We're embarking on a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. We'll be stopping at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. We'll also visit the Grand Canyon and make a trip back in time to the primeval world and the age of the dinosaurs before returning to the Eastern Station. As we begin our journey, remember that for a safe trip, you need to stay seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your children.
Bienvenidos a bordo del Disneyland Railroad. Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
Our first stop is New Orleans Square Station. But to get there, we need to pass through the wilds of Adventureland. It may seem peaceful through here, but trust me, it's a real jungle out there. Literally. So be on the lookout. You just never know what might be lurking along the rails. Just ahead is New Orleans Square Station. This station also serves Frontierland and Critter Country. If you'll be leaving us here, please remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Then watch your step as you're getting off. For those of you continuing on with us, we'll be resuming our trip in just a moment.
Alrighty, folks, so moving towards the next station, please remain seated until the train is complete and following lane stop. Welcome to New Orleans Square Station. This will be your stop for all the Adventureland, Frontierland, Critter Country, as well as the closest stop of Star Wars Galaxy Day. Once again, those please remain seated until the train is complete and following lane stop, and both conductors are on the platform. Welcome to New Orleans Square Station. Once again, folks, so welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad on Holiday 2. Just as a reminder, please remain seated, keeping all hands, arms, feet, legs inside the train. Please supervise those children, making sure they are fully seated on the bench next to you or as well as someone's lap, while keeping them away from the train's opening. Next stop will be Toontown Depot, Gateway of Fantasyland.
To those just joining us, welcome aboard the Disneyland Railroad. To ensure a safe ride, stay seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the train. And please watch your kids.
Para su seguridad, permanezca sentado y mantenga las manos, brazos, pies y piernas dentro del tren y cuide a los pequeños. Gracias.
We're now entering the bayou, soon to be home to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Princess Tiana swears there's magic out here. And wherever there's magic, there's... Speaking of surprises, this place we're passing over is chock full of them. Here in Critter Country, you can join Winnie the Pooh, Tigger, and other beloved critters on fun-filled adventures where anything can happen. As we steam past Hungry Bear Restaurant, the last outpost in these parts, we're now joining up with the rivers of America and entering the frontier as it looked more than a century and a half ago. This is my favorite part of the journey. Around every bend, there's natural beauty as far as the eye can see. There is the revered Indian shaman, sharing his stories with those in the great river valley below. People like you have been riding these rails since the 1800s, traveling through nature's wonderland in a matter of days, rather than the months it used to take by mule or stagecoach. Steam power not only fueled these iron horses, but the dreams of a whole new generation as it moved west into this great frontier. Of course, some of those dreams, and the stories that went with them, were pretty darn wild and downright unbelievable, like on Big Thunder Mountain, where I hear that mysterious spirits have grabbed hold of those mining trains and turned them into the wildest ride in the wilderness. This tunnel signals our transition from the frontier to another kind of ear, the ones you'll find on Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Our next stop is Toontown Depot, official train station for Mickey's Toontown, a cartoon home where Mickey, Minnie, and all their friends live. Toontown Depot is also the gateway to Fantasyland, where you'll find many of your favorite Disney animated characters and stories.
Alrighty folks, as we approach the next station, please remember to remain seated so the train is safe on please stop. Welcome to Disneyland Depot. This is going to be your gateway for all Fantasyland attractions, including Mickey, Minnie's Runaway Railway, as well as Disney's Small World Holiday. This is also a great spot if you'd like to still catch our Christmas Fantasy Parade that's just way down the
Please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notifications button. Thank you very much.